Come in. Oh, hello, Eddie. How are you tonight?
Ding Hao, Dr. Gale.
I beg your pardon.
Ding Hao. That's Chinese.
Now, don't tell me I'm going to have to write a chapter of my book in Chinese.
Well, that stuff you do write is Chinese to me.
Go on with you. You know, you have a very good working knowledge of criminal psychology. You just use different words, that's all.
I've noticed that. Every time I want to talk to you about one thing, you always...
Change the subject? From that self-satisfied look on your face, you must have a new chapter for my book. We'll talk about other things later.
Well, that's the best promise I've ever managed to get from you. I hope it stands up better than the lottery I won.
Oh, you won a lottery. How interesting.
And bloody.
Do go on. I'm all ears.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Well, you remember yesterday, Karen, was a nice sunny day. On the street, 2 stories below my office, taxicabs were denting each other's fenders. Newsboys were hawking a love nest murder. And a drunken taxpayer was about to throw a punch at a lamppost that had tried to trip him. Everybody was having a good time but me. I'd just decided to close the window and go to the ball game when the door behind me opened very quietly. My visitor was a little white-haired Chinese, 1 year older than Confucius. He gave me a little bow. I handed it right back to him. Then we just stood and looked at each other. Looks like a draw. I'll talk if you will.
You Mr. Eddie Drake?
Yeah. Well, that didn't get us very far. Shall we try again?
By you come Chinatown. Win Chinese lottery.
Oh, no. I still haven't recovered from last week's investment in that goat circus at Hollywood Park.
Me no sell 'em ticket. You win lottery. Come tonight. Catch 'em plenty money. You sabi.
Yeah, I savvy, but you've got the wrong guy. I didn't buy a ticket in your lottery. Somebody else won it.
No, you win. You win. Name on paper. You Mr. Eddie Drake.
Now we're back there again. Look, friend, I'm Eddie Drake, but I didn't buy a ticket in your lottery. The only paper my name ever gets on is the delinquent tax list. You sabi?
Sure me sabi. You come 9 o'clock Kuan Yin Herb Company. Catch 'em too much money from Chinese lottery. You very lucky man.
I should have gone to the ball game. Let's run over this act again. I didn't buy it.
You bring this paper to Kuan Yin Herb Company. Come 9 o'clock, no come late. Oh, money all gone.
And with that, he shuffled out. I let him go. It was much simpler. We just didn't talk the same language. I took a look at the piece of red paper. It was covered with black ink marks. It said, Eddie Drake had won a Chinese lottery. Or maybe it said I hadn't. I wasn't sure. I went to the window and took a deep breath of fresh carbon dioxide from the traffic below. That cleared my head. I leaned out to watch for the little Chinese to come out on the street. I bet myself a dime he wouldn't show. He was just something I dreamed. I lost. He shuffled out into the bright sun, paused, looked around, fell flat on his face. Didn't get up. I slammed down the window. Even from up there, I knew a gunshot when I heard it.
Oh, Mr. Drake?
I'll be back.
But I must see you immediately.
Later, Red. My horse in the Chinese sweepstakes just fell down. I saw the little man. He was dead. The bullet had hit him in the head. Maybe somebody with a lottery ticket was a poor loser. I crossed the street to John Lung's hand laundry. 3-day service. Maybe John would know why ink marks on a piece of red paper meant murder.
Sorry, Mr. Drake. Shirt not ready. Come back tomorrow?
Never mind the shirts, John. Look, can you read this?
Me see. You wait. Me see.
Hey, you didn't even look at it. Where are you going?
Come back 1 minute. You wait.
You come back now, or I'll climb over this counter after you.
All right. All right.
Is there something wrong with it? What's it say?
They come to Honian Herb Shop.
That's plenty, John.
Take it easy, Drake. You don't want to die without a clean shirt, do you?
That's a better break than you gave the old man.
That's where you're wrong. This rod hasn't been fired all day, and it's the only one I've got.
That's a comfort. You just dropped in for your laundry?
Yeah. John's been putting too much starch in my collars, so I came to shoe these ears off just to remind him. Please, no shoot, no shoot. Come on, I want that Valentine, Drake. Toss it over.
Well, let's talk a little first. How long have you been holed up back there?
Just since the old Chinaman was shot. I thought he'd give you that ticket, and I didn't think you could read Chinese. So I just waited until you came over to get John to work it over for you. He said, get paper from Mr. Drake, or he shoot off ears. Come on, I can't hang around here any longer.
You've hung around too long now. Here comes Lieutenant Walsh looking for eyewitness.
Come on, toss it over. Lieutenant Walsh no likey. Yeah, pretty smart. Pretty smart, Drake. Well, let's see where it gets you.
Hello, Drake. What do you know about the shooting?
Was there shooting?
Why, certainly.
Why, certainly.
Didn't you see the crowd?
Well, yeah, but I thought they were looking at television.
Mm-hmm. Always a wisecrack, eh? Okay. Try to get some help from me someday.
Okay, John. Come on, read it.
No can't read.
You could read a little while ago.
No can't read.
And with that, he buttoned up but tight. Shooting his ear off wouldn't have changed him. I remembered I had a beautiful redhead waiting across the street. I hurried back. There was a car parked outside my office with an official-looking flag on it. But it wasn't the flag that caught my eye. The girl in the driver's seat was enough to make me forget about my red-headed friend. And it took all the business instinct I could muster at the moment to drag me back to my office. And to what I thought might be a client.
You are Mr. Drake? I'm Captain Kwa of the Chinese Army.
You just keep talking, Captain. We'll get along fine.
So, I shall be brief with you. Mr. Drake, hiding in this city, is a deserter from my army. He was also a collaborationist during the war. He's now engaged in what you call a racket.
Keeps busy, doesn't he?
No, but not for long. Tonight, with your help, I shall apprehend him.
My help?
Exactly. This racket is an illegal form of Chinese lottery.
You know, if you'd said anything else, you'd have caught me off base. How did you know I won a lottery?
I procured a list of winners. You was on it.
Well, then tell me how it got there. I didn't buy a ticket.
Perhaps your Londonman bought it in your name. He could add the cost to your London bill, hoping that you would not notice. Then he could cash the ticket himself. Somehow, you were informed by mistake.
If you see a one-eared Chinese around tomorrow, his name will be John Lung.
Well, here are my credentials, Mr. Drake.
This I can read. Subject, special mission. All service personnel are hereby directed to extend all courtesies to Captain Chuo.
Oh, pronounced Kwa.
Oh, sorry, my accent's a little rusty. Of the Chinese Nationalist Government, by command of Major General Burton. Looks okay to me.
Then we join forces?
Well, I'd like to know a little more about the details.
Tonight, I shall tell you all I am permitted to divulge. But just now, let me warn you of the danger. These are desperate men. They will stop at nothing to recover that little piece of red paper. If necessary, Mr. Drake, they will even kill you.
The captain made a date for 9:15 at the corner of Spring and Junjing Street. Then he left. I watched him from my window as he sat down next to that disturbing influence in his convertible. She took the wheel and drove away. Then I called the Chinese consulate. They didn't want to talk to a stranger, but they admitted Captain Kwa was legitimate. It didn't surprise me. I was just being careful. After that, I drove to Chinatown and sat in a restaurant behind a beaded curtain drinking rice wine to get into the right mood. I saw a face through the beads. Thought it looked familiar. But it disappeared before I could make sure. I pushed the beads aside and took another look.
The fortune cookie, sir?
I'm more interested in fortune than cookies. How about reading mine?
I don't read it, sir. I only sell cookies. Fortune inside.
Many a man has lost a fortune over a cute cookie.
You buy cookies, you win a fortune, not lose.
That's what they tell me down at the office. Say, look, I've got a fortune here. Would you translate it?
Oh, this here. Here you are, Mr. Drake.
You better hide your fortunes. They're not safe here. You could act a little more surprised.
But I expected to find you here. May I sit down?
That's funny. I was expecting you to show up here, too.
You were, but how could you?
You tell me first.
Oh, that's easy. I came back to your office in time to overhear Captain Quah tell you where to meet him. You weren't there. I looked in the nearest cafe, and here you are.
People are always figuring out what I'm going to do next.
Now you tell me.
Well, I got my fortune in a rice cake. It said I was going to meet a beautiful redhead.
Did it say anything else?
Uh-huh. Beware.
They always say that. Don't let it frighten you, Eddie.
Yeah?
I just want the lottery ticket.
Now, that's a coincidence. I was just going to say she wants the lottery ticket.
You're smart, Eddie. I like you. But honestly, darling, that ticket will get you nothing but sorrow.
You mean it'll make me rich, and then I'll have trouble?
No. That ticket isn't worth a cent to you. You give it to me, and I'll make us a real fortune.
How much?
Millions.
Chinese style?
No, Eddie. Real money. Give me.
Not just like that. Little old man got shot through the head for that. Somebody stuck a gun in my face and tried to take it away, and you don't even say please.
Listen to me, Eddie. You'd better get out of Chinatown right away. Call a cab and sit on the floor until you reach someplace. That's your one chance. You're all alone, Eddie. That's the way you're going to be tomorrow, all alone in an alley.
That's very pretty. You ought to set it to music. All alone in an alley. Except you forget Captain Quah.
Oh, Captain Quah. Well, he won't be meeting you, Eddie. See?
Subject, special mission. This is the captain's letter.
Uh-huh. Oh, no. Now you believe me? All right, Eddie. Play it along. He must have thought you were good, or he wouldn't have asked for you. Maybe you'll get through.
Who asked for me?
The man with the stomach ache. If you see him, Eddie, will you give him a message? Tell him Alexa has the credentials for sale. He'll know what you mean.
Look, Alexa, you give me your address. I'll get in touch with you later.
Oh, no, darling. I'll get in touch with you and stay out of alleys, darling.
I had to get rid of that piece of red paper. So I buried it in the bottom of a sugar bowl. It would be safe there for an hour. Then I left. The Wan Yin herb shop was in Mulberry Lane, and it was as dark and silent as a coffin. The place was full of the smell of stale incense. The wind shut the door for me. Then it was so quiet I could hear the rats playing tag in the walls. Finally, I managed to find a light. And there he lay, staring down at the floor. He still wore the same funny clothes, but there wasn't any bullet hole in his head. Instead, there was a knife in his chest. He looked very dead. Just like this afternoon out in front of my office. Maybe in a little while he'd get up and walk away.
I told you I'd see you later, Drake. I'll take that little ticket, even if I have to loan you a shirt to be buried in. Give you the creeps, huh? There were two of them. They sure look alike. Yeah.
Brothers?
Yeah, one of them's a doctor. I don't know what the other guy did.
Doesn't make much difference now.
Right. Where's that piece of paper?
Why? You can't read it.
Well, I thought I might get Captain Qua to give me a translation.
Oh, so you've got him. That's why he didn't show up tonight.
Oh, he didn't?
Well, if you haven't got him tied up someplace, maybe Alexa's got him.
Alexa? What made you think that?
She has his credentials.
Why, that dirty double dealer.
I know some days she can't lay up a cent. I've got the lottery ticket, Alexa has the credentials, and you've got a murder rap.
Yeah, I found him that way.
You're a great little finder, except for lottery tickets.
Yes, and I'll find that, too. And Qua's credentials. If Alexa's trying to peddle them, she must be down here in Chinatown, and I'll find her. I know every rat's nest and sewer hole down here. Only a Chinaman could hide where I couldn't find them.
And after you get the credentials from Alexis,
Then you go out and dig up a market for them. And you know who I mean.
yeah. The guy with the stomach ache?
Right. And we split the take, huh? You know, Drake, I'm kind of glad I didn't shoot you.
Number 4 precinct. Lieutenant Walt speaking.
This is Drake. Got anything on the old Chinese who became shot this afternoon?
For publication, not a thing. Confidentially, Drake. Not a thing.
Tough case, huh?
A dead Chinese can't talk any more than a live one. Why, I'd rather have 2 of them.
You've got him. You better hustle over to Wan Yin's herb shop. There's a dead ringer for the old man over here. And what I mean dead.
I'll be there in 20 minutes. Just don't do anything.
Don't do anything? What do you think I am, a cop? The old Chinese was still there. I had to stop expecting him to get up and leave. I looked the place over. Nothing had changed. The smell of incense was still strong. When I opened the rear door, the wind tinkled the glass chimes. I looked outside. And who do you suppose was out there? Captain Qua. He was sprawled out against the base of the building. He looked like a dead general. He looked very lonesome. He was all alone in an alley. Or was he? I saw something move, and this time I was curious. Too many shadows were moving around with no one to cause them. I started out, but stepped on an imitation flower ornament. The shadow was gone, but the flower looked suspiciously much like the one my little fortune cookie had worn in her hair. Before I had a chance to explore further, I heard sirens.
Yeah, it's another one. Makes 3 today. Just what goes on here?
I wish I knew.
You must know something. Now, who's knocking off all these Chinese? Come clean, Drake.
Anything I could say, Lieutenant, would only confuse you. All I know is what people tell me. Nobody tells me the truth. Say, you know some guy by the name of Clayton?
Yeah. There used to be a cop named Clayton on the Chinatown squad. Big, tough, dark-eyed.
That's the guy. Is he still a cop?
No, he was busted about 2 years ago for shaking down all the Chinatown rackets. Why, is Clayton mixed up in this?
You better ask him.
I'm asking you. You've been holding out on me ever since I saw you in that laundry this afternoon.
John Lung. Yeah, maybe John.
Wait, where are you going?
I've got to pick up my laundry, Lieutenant. I haven't got a clean shirt to my name.
You won't be open at this hour. It's nearly midnight.
Then I'll wake him up. John? Wake up, John.
Who's that?
Open up. It's Eddie Drake.
Sorry, sure not ready. Come back tomorrow.
Never mind the shirt, John. Remember that paper I showed you this afternoon?
Sure. The man said he shoots.
That's right. What does it say?
It said come to Honyan Herb Shop, 9 o'clock.
What else? Nobody's going to shoot you, John.
That's good. It say honorable brother, guide you to sick man.
I met Honorable Brother. He was dead.
Sick man upstairs in Cafe Tong House. Need help. You come?
Okay, but you shouldn't have been so stubborn this afternoon.
Fine good memory, huh?
Fine. Just remember to have my shirts ready tomorrow.
Okay.
Who is it? Answer quickly or I'll fire.
It's Eddie Drake. Turn out the light. I got your message.
Oh, Mr. Drake. Come in. turn on the light. The switch is over there. I'm Captain Qua of the Chinese Army.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Weren't you lying dead out in an alley about an hour ago? Or are the two of you?
So you have met him?
I met some guy that calls himself Captain Qua. He has credentials to prove it.
He's an imposter. Those credentials were stolen from me. That's why I sent for you. I must recover my papers.
We'll get to that in a minute. What's all this hooey about a lottery I was supposed to win?
Is that what Sinzang told you? He spoke English very poorly. I suppose he thought the lottery price would allow your interest.
That along with some other features. If you're Captain Qua, who's this other guy?
His name is Chun. He's a deserter from the Chinese Army and a collaborationist with the Japanese.
He said the same things about you.
That is Sinzang a lot.
He's dead. So's his brother.
Then his enemy. Be on guard.
Hello, Red. Your gun is showing.
Just a precaution. I didn't expect to see you.
Didn't think I could find the place without the paper?
It's not. I told you I like you, Eddie. Yes, I got the paper out of the sugar bowl. It was very clever of you.
Very clever of you to be able to read it.
That's what took me so long in getting here. I had trouble finding someone to translate it, someone I could trust. Qua here?
Yeah, one of them. Come on in.
Well, hello, Captain. You don't look so well.
Where are my credentials?
In a safe place. They're for sale?
You mean you still have them?
Of course, why shouldn't I?
Clayton promised me he'd have them by midnight.
Clayton? How does he know I have them?
I told him.
Hey, you fool. He'll kill me. He'll kill both of us. He's a devil, Eddie.
He's plenty sore at you for double-crossing him. You're done, baby. You'll never get out of Chinatown alive. Not even on the floor of a cab. He knows every doorway, every crooked alley.
Eddie, you can get me out. I'll give you half everything, Eddie. Half of everything. And me, you like me, don't you, Eddie? We'll sell Qua his credentials and go away
What about the
someplace.
credentials, Captain?
They were my orders. I was commanded to come to Los Angeles and act as a special guard for shipment of money. I suppose you are unaware that much of our money is obtained in Los Angeles and shipped from there to my government in China.
I see. This phony captain was going to hijack part of that shipment, using your credentials to do it.
Yes, and he and Clayton. They hired this young woman to get my paper from me. I was foolish, Mr. Drake. She gave me a poison to drink. I managed to throw it up, but not in time. I clawed away to Sinzang.
So it was a standstill. You had to recover your papers. The phony captain had to get rid of you in order to be able to use them. Why didn't you call the Chinese consul?
Perhaps I was trying to save my face, Mr. Drake.
Eddie, we're wasting time. Make a deal with him and let's get out of here.
That might not be so easy, baby. Remember Clayton?
Eddie, please. Please don't let him get me. He'll kill me. Get me out of Chinatown, please!
No dice, Fred. Clayton's a tough baby. He killed those two old men. There'd have to be a lot in it for me to go up against him.
There's me, Eddie, there's me.
You're not enough, Red. Besides, you're a killer. I might end up all alone in an alley, too.
Get me out. Get me out or I'll shoot you like I did that phony captain.
You should know her. Don't turn around. Get out, or else I'll remember that dirty drink.
Clayton knows Chinatown, but you're smart, Red. You might make it. Yeah, baby, you just might make it.
No.
Good heavens, what happened?
The little fortune cookie had been following me all over town. When she overheard that Alexa had shot her phony boyfriend, she killed Alexa. And the real Qua, thinking his life in danger...
Killed the Chinese girl.
No, not quite. She's in the hospital under Lieutenant Walsh's supervision.
And what happened to Clayton?
Well, he shot it out with Walsh's men and lost. He was a tough baby.
How about Captain Qua?
He'll be all right as soon as he gets a new set of credentials. Time to change the subject, Doctor?
Oh, yes, we were going to talk about other things, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
I know you're hungry.
I'm not hungry.
Then you must be sleepy.
I am not sleepy.
Well, that's too bad, because I am. Good night, Eddie.
What a revolting development this is.
Tonight's story, The Man with a Stomachache, was written by Jason James, produced by Harlan Thompson and Herbert Strock, and directed by Paul Garrison. In the cast were Richard Liu as Shane, Faye Baker as Alexa, Cy Kendall as Clayton, Paul Fung as Captain Qua, Theodore von Elst as Lieutenant Walsh, Maria Marco as the fortune cookie, and starring Don Haggerty as Eddie Drake.
And Patricia Morrison as Dr. Karen Gale. We hope you'll tune in next week, same time, same station, for another episode in
The Cases of Eddie Drake.